Hello friends, today let's look at a non-linear data structure graphs. One of the very famous data structure which is used in most of the real life applications. A simple example if you look at is representing the whole city, right? So graphs what it consists of is the nodes and the what we call as vertices and the edges which connect those vertices. So you can imagine a network of cities which can be represented as graph. When we use Google Maps and all, right, it shows you the direction. So what it is using? It is using graphs to represent the data. So let us look at it now. It's a non-linear data structure consisting of nodes and edges. Even you can call them as vertices and edges. So nodes are referred as vertices and the edges are nothing but the lines. So these green color ones, what you can see are the nodes, or even we can call them as vertices. And these nodes are connected by some lines or the arcs, and these we call it as edges, right? Edges connect the vertices, right? So if you look at this graph, the set of vertices are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are set of vertices, and the edges are 0 to 1 is the line between two vertices, joining two vertices, or are with joining two vertices, we call them as an edge, right? So the set of edges are 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 0, 4 to 1, and 3 to 1, or 1 to 3, right? So a graph consists of finite set of vertices and a set of edges which connects a pair of nodes, right? So it connects a pair of nodes. Here you can see the edge connects a pair of nodes. There are types of graphs. You have directed graph and undirected graph. So graphs can be directed or undirected. Now if you look at this graph, these are the vertices which are connected with the edges, and there's no direction. Like you can have the relationship from A to B as well as B to A. But if you look at this graph, which is directed graph, there is an arrow indicating the direction of relationship. So A is can be related to B, but B cannot be related to A, right? In short, if you look at this as a network of cities, let's say A is a city, B is a city, then there's a way to move from A to B, but there's no road coming from B to A, right? But in this case, you can move in both the directions. You can go from A to B as well as from B to A, right? So this is non-directed and this is directed graph, right? So it gives you the relationship in both the directions, but here it depends on the direction of the arrow. There are kinds of graphs. You have weighted graphs and unweighted graphs. Now, when we call it weighted graphs, so in case of weighted graphs, the edges have weights associated with it, right? Edges have weights associated with it. Maybe that, like if you are traveling between the cities, it shows you the distance in kilometers. Like if you are traveling from city A to B, then the distance from A to B is 6 kilometers, right? So the weights are nothing but you can just think of distance between the cities. When in case of unweighted graphs, there are no weights associated with the edges, right? And in this case, you had the weights associated with the edges. In this case, you don't have any weights associated with edges. So simple examples where you can use them is the prerequisites for a course. Now, for a particular course, if you carry out, you do have some prerequisites. At that time, you can represent it using unweighted graphs. Now, there's something called degree of node, right? So the degree of node is nothing but the number of edges which are associated with that particular node. Now, if you look at A, now the degree of node A is how many edges are associated with A? You have A to B, you have A to D, and you have A to C. So degree of node A is 3. Now, if you look at B, how many edges are associated with? You have B, you have edge coming from A, and you have edge going to D. So the degree of B is 2. Similarly, degree of D is 3. Why? Edge is coming from B, edge is coming from A, and edge is going from D to C. So there are 3 edges associated with D. So degree of D is 3, right? You can have odd degree as well as even degree. Now, if you look at A and D, both these vertices have odd degree because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and edge Vertices B and C have even degree because it has only two edges, 1 and 2 associated with them. Again, you have variation in degree of nodes. You can have in degree and out degree for a particular node. If you look at A, now there is no edge coming to A. So in degree of A is 0, but out degree of A, there are 3 edges going out from A. So out degree of A is 3. Fine. In degree is 0, out degree is 3. Similarly, if you look at B, in degree is 1 and out degree is also 1. There is one edge coming to B and there is one edge going out from B. So in degree is 1 and out degree is also 1. And if you look at D, how many edges are coming to D? There is edge coming from B and the edge coming from A. So in degree of vertex B is 2 and out degree of vertex B is 1. There's only one edge going out from B and it's going to C. Fine. So the concept of in degree and out degree is clear. Now, there are a few terminologies which are associated with graphs and you should know. The very first thing is path. So path is a sequence of alternating vertex and edges such that each successive vertex is connected by the edge. Now, if you look at this, let us say I want to find a path from A to E. So the path will be A. I move from A to C, then from C to E. Or I even have another path. I move from A to C and I move from C to F and then I move from F to E. So what the path consists of? Path consists of alternative vertices connected with the edges. Fine. Now cycle is a path that starts and ends at the same vertex. Now let us say you start from A, right? You follow the arrow from A, you go to C, from C you go to F, F to E, E to D, D to B, and again you can come back to A, right? So you start from A and you can come back to A again. So there is a cycle in the graph. Fine. Now simple path is a word path with a distinct vertices and directed path is a path of only direct. Now here what we saw is a directed path. Fine. Now directed cycle is again the edges are having a direction. So this path or the cycle what we are seeing that is from A to C, C to F, E, D, B and A is a directed cyclic path or it's a directed cycle. Right? Now subgraph is a subset of vertices and edges. Now for this graph, this is a subgraph. Part of this graph is a subgraph. Spanning subgraph contains all the vertices. Now connected graph has all pairs of vertices connected by at least one path. From you can see all the vertices are connected. Right? So this is a connected graph. You don't have any vertex which is not connected. That is not isolated, right? So this is a connected graph. Now, how do we represent graphs in the memory of the computer? So representation can be carried out in 3 ways. You have adjacency matrix, you have adjacency list, and you have incidence matrix, right? The most popular ones, what we look at is adjacency matrix and adjacency list. So adjacency matrix, as the name suggests, is a double dimension array, right? And for each vertex, there is a row, like for vertex A, vertex B, vertex C. This is a row for vertex A, row for vertex B, row for vertex C, and row for vertex D. And there is a column also for each vertex, right? There is a column for each vertex. Now, what these entries are weights on the edges, right? There is an edge from vertex A to B, and the weight on the edge is 5. There is an edge from A to C, and the weight on that edge is 2. There is an edge from A to D, and the weight on that edge is 1. Fine. So this is an adjacency matrix showing the representation of weighted graph, right? Weighted graph means there are weights on the edges, as we already seen in the previous slides. Right? Now entries contain 0 if there is no edge from root. Like now, if you look at this, from C to B, there is no edge, so entry is 0. Similarly, from B to C, there is no edge connecting, so the entry is 0. Like there is no connectivity between B and C, so the entries are 0. Is it fine? Now, entries contains 0 on diagonal if there are no self edges allowed. If you look at this diagonal, all entries are 0. That means there is no arc from A to A. There is no arc from B to B, right? From B to B, there is no edge, right? There is no edge connecting. There is no self loop, you can say, right? So self edges are not allowed. Then the entries are diagonal entries of this matrix are 0. Fine. Let us look at an example and see how it is represented. Now this is an undirected graph and this is adjacency matrix related to this undirected graph. Now remember there are no weights on the edges. If there is no weight on the edges, then you see if there is an edge between A to B, you represent it as 1, right? The presence of edge is represented as 1 and absence of edge is represented as 0, right? Because there are no weights. Now, there is an edge from A to B, so you mark here 1. There is an edge from A to C, mark here 1. There is an edge from A to D, mark as 1. Fine. The presence of edge is marked as 1. Absence of edge is marked as 0. Now, similarly, if you look at A to A, there is no edge coming from A to A, so it is 0. Again, if you look at it, the diagonal is 0, so there are no self edges. Now, if you look at from B to C, from B to C, there is no edge. There is no connectivity between the vertex B and C. So, here the entry is 0, right? So, there is no connectivity from B to C. There is no edge from B to C. Entry is 0. Similarly, there is no edge from C to B. So, entry is 0, right? There is no edge from B to C. There is no edge from C to B. So, entries are 0. Is it fine? Now, from D, you can go to A, so it is 1. You can go to B, 1. You can go to C, 1. So, there are the presence of edge. Just remember, presence of edge is indicated as 1. Absence of edge is indicated as 0, right? Now, this is for unweighted graph, undirected, unweighted graph. But if the graph is weighted, then instead of 1 and 0, instead of 1, we'll be storing the weights. If there is no weight, then it will be stored as 0. Fine, as we saw in the previous slide. Now, similarly, the adjacency matrix is representing the directed graph. Now you look at the change. There is a path from the edge is from A to B, right? So edge is from A to B, edge is from A to C, and edge is from A to D, right? A to B, A to C, and A to D. If you look at B, from B, there's only one edge that is going from B to D, but there is no edge going from B to A. So all the rest of the entries of B will be 0 or null entries, but one will be there only for B to D. So from B to D, there is an edge, so mark it as 1. Rest, there is no path. So it is all 0 entries. Similarly, if you look at C, right, there is no edge moving out of C. There is no path going out of C. So all the entries are 0. They are having the edges coming to C, but there is no outgoing edge from C, right? So it is all 0. Similarly, for D, now from D, where you can reach, from D, you can reach only C. So you have entry as 1 only at the C, but rest of the entries are all C. Fine. Now, in case of weighted graph, what we do, we store the weights instead of ones. Fine. Now, another way of representation is adjacency list representation. So here each node has list of adjacent nodes. Now this is the graph and this is the adjacency list representation. So what we have all the nodes, all the vertices, and then we write from A, you have an edge to B. From A, you again have an edge to C. Again, you have an edge to D, right? So from A to B, A to C, and A to D. So this is a linked list what is maintained. Similarly, from B, you have a connectivity or edge from B to A because it is undirected. It can move in both the direction. You have from B to A and you have B to D, right? So B to A and B to D. Similarly, from C, you can have C to A and C to D. So C to A and C to D. Then from D again, you can go to A, you can go to B, and you can go to C. So from D, you can have an edge going to A, you can move to B, and also you can move to C, right? So you can even call this as array of pointers. Fine. This is the adjacency list representation of this undirected graph. Similarly, now adjacency list representation for directed graph. So here you can just see from A, you can move to B. So B is there. From A, you can move to C. C is there. There is an edge from A to D. So D is there. So these are the vertices what you can visit from A, or there is a connectivity from A. If you look at B, from B you can move only to D, because a directed graph from B you can move only to D. So only B here. From C there are no outgoing edges, right? So there are no nodes associated with it, right? In case of D, you can move only to C, right? There is a path only from D to C, so C is attached, right? Now, which is better? Adjacency list is better, adjacency matrix is better. In case of adjacency matrix, you have a whole array, which is static data structure, right? And the locations are fixed, even if there is a path or there is no path. If there is a connectivity or no, at least the zero entries will be moved. But in case of adjacency list, it will have only entries which are existing, right? But the drawback of adjacency list representation is extra implementation of a data structure, that is linked list. Now this is a linked list which needs to be maintained. Fine. I hope the concept of graph representation is clear. Fine. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.